Hi everyone, welcome to this session. I believe some of us are still joining, so we will give it like 3 minutes for everyone to log on. So welcome to the webinar. My name is Apoorv and I am the marketing manager for Cambridge Assessment English. And thank you all for sparing your time with us. I know we have been running busy, our hands are full literally because of the entire COVID situation. We are trying to make the best out of every situation that is possible. So a quick rundown, we will have something like a warm-up session to kind of warm up the audience till everyone kind of logs on. Right. So let's kind of make things a bit interesting. Let's start with a few polls in the beginning till everyone kind of logs on. So here's a quick poll to kind of understand the audience that what are the school that or the board of education that you're affiliated to. So there must be a poll which must be visible on your right hand side. So if you could just quickly answer on the poll itself, you'll be able to select the options, of course. So very nice, actually. I believe 72% of the audiences are from CBSE school and 5% from ICSE and 14% are from state boards. So that's quite a homogeneous crowd, I must say. All right. So quickly jumping on to our next question till I can still see some more people logging in. So let's have a few more of these warm-up questions to kind of keep you guys engaged till we start the session, please. So kind of quickly jumping onto a more of open-ended question where we can have a bit of idea exchanges. We just want to understand that from your perspective, what are the most significant challenges that schools are facing in August 2020? So if you can just answer in the comment section, there is a comment section on your right hand side, or if you're on mobile, it must be at the bottom of your screen. So if you could kind of quickly indicate that what is the most significant challenge that you are facing right now. So you could just comment on the section. Okay, somebody commented that I am not audible. Am I audible to everyone? I just hope that I am. So online teaching, reopening safely, pre-midterm exams, technical challenges. My, there are plenty of challenges over here. I think online classes is something which is persistent throughout the answers. So let's keep the ball rolling. Yeah, let's go on to the next question to kind of get more insights that what are the challenges that we are facing. So now we have talked about challenge. Let's talk about some solutions. That what do you think that are the areas where schools are doing really well in the pandemic? So you can just take a minute to kind of think and answer that, what are these areas where do you think schools have done really well? All right. I have just lost track of the comment section because there are so many responses coming in, and which is a good thing, really. So I think conducting classes online and have control over students' participation. I think still we are talking about problem statements. There is a 2-second lag in kind of loading that up. So I believe the comment section is still going to be there. So we will kind of pick it up later on in the session itself. So kind of going to the next very important question that we have over here is that what is the medium of instruction in your school? So is it like English, or is it Hindi, or is it other? So I'm gonna just start a quick poll, and you guys will be able to see the poll results. All right. I must say that the audience is highly interactive. I'm feeling great that we are getting responses like every second. So that's plenty. That's plenty of responses out there. I think 97% of the population has said that the medium of instruction in their school is English, and around 2% of the population has said Hindi. I think nobody has covered others. So kind of just keep the ball rolling. Another very important question that kind of comes up as a follow-up after this particular poll is that, what do you think that, what is the role of English language proficiency in the career success of students? So let's kind of start that very, very quickly. Just give me a second. I'm just loading that up because more answers are coming till now. Okay. Okay. Well, till that goes on, let me take a minute to kind of tell you who we are and what we do. We'll dive in that later on in detail, but just for everybody's information, we are Cambridge Assessment English, and we help people to learn English and prove their skills to the world. So kind of quickly jumping into the topic without any further ado, this particular webinar or this particular workshop is all about collaborating with Cambridge. We are exploring the areas where there is a synergy between us, where you can join the leaders in English language assessment by working with us in a more cohesive way. So kind of not restricting it, quickly taking a glance at the agenda section today. So we are talking, first we will cover that who we are and our global reach, then we will dwell a bit into our exams, then this is perhaps the most important section, that how can we offer student development, teacher development, branding support, etc., etc. And then we can have a little question and answer session to kind of dwell deep into it. So let me kind of introduce you to Ian. Ian is a global product manager, and he has been involved with English language teaching and assessment for more than 20 years. That's quite an experience over there. And is currently the global product manager, and he's currently working on the multi-level testing products. So over to you, Ian. Welcome, and thank you for spending some time with us and for this session. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Apoorv, and hello everybody. It's a real pleasure for me to be here today and have the opportunity to speak to you all. So as Apoorv mentioned, I've been working for Cambridge Assessment English for many years now, and actually my biodata doesn't also state that I am the product manager for BEC. So I've been involved in working across India for many years, and have had the opportunity to visit your beautiful country quite a few times. So I'm coming to you today from Cambridge in England, and it's a lovely sunny morning here. But just wanted to start by telling you a little bit about who we are, because we are a very large organisation. So the organisation is called Cambridge Assessment, and within that you can see that we've actually got 6 parts of the organisation, or separate parts of the organisation, if you like. I work for Cambridge Assessment English. We're going to be presenting to you today, and Cambridge Assessment English is involved in helping a range of learners to prove their proficiency in English, which means that we have English examinations for children of school age through to young adults who are studying at colleges and universities, through to professionals who are looking to prove their English skills to go and work or study overseas. We also have part of the group is called OCR, and this is involved in examinations at UK schools. So if you're familiar with the GCSEs and A-level exams, these are all run by OCR for students in the UK. But we have a third part of the business, which is called Cambridge Assessment International. And this is very similar to OCR, but they provide examinations for school-age children all around the world. So the IGCSE, the International GCSE program, and the A-level program, which is run in schools and colleges throughout the world, is also part of the business. And down here we have part of the business called Cambridge Assessment Admissions Testing. So these are a range of tests which are used by universities to screen students before they join. So for example, if you want to look at the math skills of students before they join a university course, then that will certainly be something that the admissions testing will do. We have thinking skills assessments to prove the knowledge of students before they join their university courses. We also have CEM, Cambridge, Michigan. This is an exam board based in the US. They also offer proficiency exams for students of all ages and of all levels of ability. And of course, we have the Cambridge Assessment Network, which provides professional development for the assessment community. So these are exams for assessment experts all around the world. So you can see that when it comes to assessments, be it English language or assessments for school age or higher education, we are the organisation that meets all the needs. So just to tell you a little bit more about Cambridge Assessment English, it's fair to say that we are at the forefront of English language learning and assessment in the world. We have the largest research team of any exam board in the world. We have many hundreds of people based in Cambridge who are involved in making sure that our exams are always relevant and valid and fair and of course very accurate. We are also respected internationally as the standard of quality. So I'm going to show you a little bit later a chart called the CEFR, the Common European Framework of Reference, which is used with all our exams and used with a range of exams, a range of languages across Europe. We were the founding members and we actually developed the CFR. So we've been involved in developing the standards that are used for tests across the world since the very first day that they were envisaged. So moving on, we're also very proud of the fact that our exams are fair and available for people from a range of cultures, from around the world, different backgrounds and with different levels of English. So it doesn't matter who you are or what level of English you have or where you are in the world, our examinations are available for you and they remain fair and valid for everybody who takes them. We're also particularly proud of the fact that our exams are available for students who may have hearing or sight impairment as well. So it's also something that's very important to us. And finally, to say that our exams are widely accepted by governments, educational authorities and employers throughout the world. More than 20,000 organisations recognise our exams, including many ministries of education. And we're very proud of the fact that when we say Cambridge Assessment English, many organisations and government ministries around the world are already familiar with us and what we do. So that just gives you a little bit of background about who we are and what we do. So let me tell you a little bit through the numbers that you can see on the screen here. So we've been in business for over 100 years. The university itself is over 750 years old, but Cambridge Assessment English had its 100th birthday a few years ago. And since we started our examinations business, we've had over 60 million candidates have taken our exams throughout the world. And that number is only growing. In fact, last year we had over 5.5 million candidates taking our exams around the world, which is quite incredible. We hope that in the future, as we deal with this current situation and we manage to overcome the current pandemic, we'll see those numbers of exams growing as more and more people take English around the world. We have over 2,800 examination centres based in 130 countries around the world. Our examination centres administer our exams on our behalf and make sure that the exams are delivered under strict conditions with high levels of security and fairness to all students. So we can't work without them. And it's amazing to see that we have so many centres, many centres all across India as well. I've had the pleasure of meeting some of them during my visits there. Over 50,000 schools around the world use our exams, and our schools business is growing day by day as more and more institutions adopt the Cambridge exams with their students. I'll tell you a little bit more about our school exams later. And we have over 20 million digital learners currently. And as you can imagine, during the current situation, we have even more and more learners joining us. And we've made a very great effort to have a lot more digital resources and learning resources available for our learners, and I know that my colleagues in India have been working very hard on developing some great online resources for learners and for teachers to help them to learn English and prepare for our exams. And finally, as I mentioned before, over 25,000 organisations worldwide recognise our qualifications. So we have two charts here which explain a little bit more about how our exams are used. So if you look on the right hand side of the screen, you can see a chart with a number of bar charts here. So the first line that you can see where you have pre-A1, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 and C2. This is the CEFR, the Common European Framework of Reference, and this is used to gauge the level of proficiency that people have in a number of different languages. I mentioned that Cambridge Assessment English is the founding member of the Association of Language Testers in Europe, and so we developed this international standard. And you can see that all our examinations are referenced against this CFR. But we've done something else, because as you can imagine, these grades A1, A2, B1, B2 are quite broad. It takes somewhere in the region of between 120 and 200 hours for students to move from one of these grades to the next. And so we've introduced something called the Cambridge English Scale. It's a measure that you can see next to the CFR. And by using this scale, we're able to break down each of these CFR levels into 20 points. And what that means is that we're able to report with a lot more granular detail of a candidate's ability within each one of these CFR levels. So what that means is that by using the scale, we can show if a student is at the beginning of A2, at the middle, or at the end of A2. And you can see that we have a range of qualifications that build on this CFR. So the first column that you can see here are our qualifications for school-age children. And we have qualifications that are for late primary through to the end of secondary school. And you can see each of these exams takes a step-by-step approach from pre-A1, which is the lowest level, all the way up to C2. And then this is a real ladder of learning. So as students move through the school system and their English improves, they can take a Cambridge qualification at each step of their journey to prove their ability in English. And these qualifications stay with them for a lifetime, and they can use these to help them to prove their level of English for university or to get a job in the future. The red column that you can see here are qualifications for adults. They're very similar in terms of the step process that you can see here from A2 all the way up to C2. And again, these are qualifications that adults can take at higher education institutions or when they're at work to prove their skills in English. In blue, we have the 3 BEC qualifications, the Business English qualifications, which are very popular throughout English, are used widely in engineering colleges and universities throughout the country for students who want to improve their chances of finding work, boosting their CV and showing that they have the practical English skills to work in the English language in a corporate environment. And then going across to the multi-level tests here, we have a range of tests which are used to prove students' level of English across a whole range. So it's one qualification that can choose their level, prove their level of English across a whole range. And you can see here that we have in red the Ielts exam that I'm sure you're all familiar with. So just to reconfirm that we have qualifications that are available for learners no matter their age, no matter where they're studying, and no matter what their level of English. But in addition to the qualifications, we also have lots of other services that we offer, and this pie chart here can show you a little bit more. So in the red, I've already talked about the Cambridge English qualifications that we have, but we also have qualifications for teachers who want to improve their English skills or want to improve their teaching skills. So for example, we have qualifications for English teachers who want to show that they have not only a knowledge of English, but a knowledge of teaching practice and a communicative teaching approach, which is very important to us. Also for teachers who might not be teaching English, but want to study in the medium of education. We have lots of learning products that I mentioned for teachers and learners to help them to prepare for exams and also to improve their English generally. Lots of quizzes and games and lesson plans and other activities that we have available. I mentioned that we have the admissions tests, which are used by universities around the world who want to find out more information about the various skills that students have before they join a course, to prove that they've got the right types of skills and the right profile to attend university. We also have a range of consultancy services, so we engage with ministries of education around the world, working on major projects to help improve the levels of teaching, the design of curriculum, and of course the use of assessments on a national scale. Then I also mentioned that we have some other exam boards, the Michigan exam board, which is American English qualifications, and also OET, the Occupational English Test, which many of you may be familiar with. This is a qualification used by healthcare professionals, and we know that it's very popular in England with healthcare professionals who are looking to work overseas. So, just to recap on what I've said, we have a range of qualifications for school-aged children so that they can take our qualifications at any stage in their learning. It's a laddered approach, so as they move through their learning and as they gain knowledge and experience, they can take our qualifications and move through a scale, qualifications that stay with them for life. We have qualifications again for the general and the higher education. We have the business qualifications I mentioned, which are very popular in India with students at universities and engineering colleges. And of course, we have all our teaching qualifications as well. So I think that's the last slide from me. So I'd like to pass over to my esteemed colleague, Kevin, who's going to take you through the next part of the presentation. So thank you very much for allowing me to talk to you today. Over to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for joining us all the way from Cambridge. Very good afternoon, everybody who's joined us from various parts of India to know and to collaborate with Cambridge Assessment English. Just as Ian has shared with you just now about who we are or what exactly we do about the Common European Framework of Reference, how these exams are internationally benchmarked, how they are valued so much in the world with government bodies, with recognizing organizations, with universities across the world. And Ian has given you a slight heads up in terms of as a head of an institution. I'm sure you must be wondering, okay, do you want to do exams for your children, benchmark your school children, your college students, your teachers? So whether it be a primary school or a secondary school or a high school, or for your teachers or for your colleges, if you're here as a chairman or you're here as a principal, Cambridge assessment exams are there for everybody, you know, from grades 1 up to grades 12, be it in college as well as with teachers. So while we're talking about collaborating with Cambridge, you know, in terms of, and what does it mean to collaborate with Cambridge, just to give you a little bit about the background about a couple of institutions that we work with across the world, in terms of, as well as in India. Well, in India, we work with all the leading chain schools, be it from North India to South, to the East or to the West. So this is what Cambridge works with institutions. There are a couple of institutions that offer these exams as a part of the curriculum. Some of them offer it optional. Some of them offer it for the primary school. Some of them offer it for the middle school. So as a leader, while you're sitting down here as a leader and listening to this, you may just want to kind of process in your mind and see, where would you like to offer these exams? Now that you know the value about Cambridge, now that you know how these exams are internationally benchmarked, how they are based on the CFR framework, how can you offer this and give your students work along with Cambridge? We work together to see how we can offer this for your students and give them the benefit. So these are a couple of institutions that we work with: chain group of schools, individual schools. They offer this from the primary section up to the high school for their students. So you must be wondering, okay, so, as an institution, I'm sure each one of you are really valued over here, and we are extremely privileged that you have joined us, taken the time off to really come and listen to what we have to say and really see how you can collaborate with us. And I'm sure you have the best interest of your teachers and of your students in mind and at heart, that you really want to offer these qualifications to. So the benefits of offering or collaborating with Cambridge, the first and foremost, you don't have to look at a separate curriculum. These are exams are skill based, so you don't have to change your curriculum. You can continue using the same curriculum. We'll walk you through how we can integrate it with your curriculum, no matter whether you're doing a state board school or whether you're an ICSE school or an IGCSE school or a CBSE school. Whatever curriculum you're offering, we will help you benchmark that curriculum and integrate it and offer it for your students. There is a lot of branding support, because when you're working with Cambridge, who's the leaders in assessment, definitely we are here to support you in whatever branding we can do. So I will take you through the branding. You have an opportunity to sign with us a letter of intent. We'll talk to you a little bit more about that. We can collaborate directly with Cambridge. We can sign a letter of intent with Cambridge and take this program forward. As leaders of institutions, I'm sure you're not looking at just now, but you're looking at a long-term vision for your students. You really want them to excel, just not in school, but when they leave school and go. So you're building for them life skills, and you would have seen what Ian said, or if you talk to any of your relatives, while you may have a lot of knowledge, when you're not able to translate that knowledge into your workplace, wherever you are working or you're studying, there's a lot of people who have lots of difficulty. So you're building lifelong skills for your students, and that's something I think with most leaders of institutions really value these certificates for that. So these are a couple of benefits that I'll take you through much more in detail about giving your students the benchmarking as well as the confidence in communicating in English. So how to collaborate with Cambridge? I'm sure that's the first thing running across your mind. So there are two stages. So there is a stage one where you begin offering this as a preparation center for Cambridge. You begin offering this at your institution. You decide, we'll take you through the journey. And then once you go through that stage, if you're having a group of chain institutions, you're having a lot of institutions, or you really want to make this mandatory a part of across the entire school, we can work with you, and you can talk to one of us or drop in your email ID, and we can talk to you how you can become an authorized exam center partner with Cambridge. So I'm not sure if the slide is very, very small, but then I'll just take you through the steps of how you want, where you want to begin this journey. So the first step is where we would share with you after this webinar a letter of intent, where we can collaborate directly with your institutions, where we can sign it, and you will sign it from your side, and we can share that. So after that is over, you'll be looking at how you can integrate this into your curriculum. So whether you're going to offer it a part of the curriculum, whether you want to offer it optional to the students. So that's something that we can elaborate and share with you, the support that we can offer to make this a part of the curriculum. The benefits of making this a part of the curriculum is that you can offer it to all your students. So when your students at grades 11, there are not some students who can maybe speak well or are benchmark at an international standard, but then all your students will be able to sit down for whatever exam they want to do. So there's a lot of benefits when you integrate this as a part of the curriculum. I'm sure the question at the top of your minds must be, okay, how are we going to communicate with parents? So we will share with you from the WhatsApp messages to the videos to the email of brochures that we have with you, to the parent webinars that we can do, where you can invite your parents, and like this way, since it's all online, we'll do a webinar to your parents, share with them how we are working and collaborating with your institution, and how we can offer, and how your institution has taken this step to offer this for the students, and how as parents they can really support the institution, because you are giving your students wherever they are across India, an opportunity to sit down for a world class assessment. So once you address parents, I'm sure many of you, must be thinking, how do I train teachers? Because you're saying this as an international, qualification and international assessment. So we do provide a lot of teacher support, which I'll go through in detail, beginning from a teacher support program, where we do online workshops of how your teachers can train for these exams in their institutions, be it online or be it face-to-face. So once you've addressed that with your teachers, we share with you lots of resources. With our collaboration, we are making these resources exclusively, offering it to you free of charge. We're not charging anything for it. Once you do that, the final step is about students doing the examination itself. You're getting a certificate. Once you get a certificate, we can collaborate with you. Whichever city you're in, we can try to do a media release. We can do a certificate distribution ceremony, invite all the parents. We get a video from our CEO of Cambridge Assessment English. We'll play it over there. So parents also get to see how your students, how their children have fared. And in terms of what Ian spoke to you about, the CFR framework, how they stand, against the framework. So parents will also know tomorrow if the child is able to do a CAE advanced exam at grades 11, they're almost equal to an IELTS band 7, So even if tomorrow they want to sit for an IELTS exam, they don't have to worry because they've already reached that benchmark. And finally, the next step, if you're really keen, to directly work with Cambridge Assessment English, as a direct partner, we can look at the way of you becoming an authorized exam center. So I will take you through very briefly. We're trying to stick to time today, so I'll take you through very, very briefly about each of these steps of the pathway for an institution. So like I told you, the first thing as a leader over here today is to see which classes you want to offer each exam. So from starting from grades 2 up to grades 12, as all these certifications are there. We can work along with you to see where you want to offer it. These are a rough cost of the certifications. Now, just to tell you again, the teacher support workshops, the online workshops, all our resources, we're giving it as a part of the collaboration free of cost, and the students will only have to pay to the authorized exam center the exam fee. So that's the only fee which is involved over here. So these are the rough exams which we have. Just to give you very, very briefly, the first step is for you to decide whether you want to offer it optional to your students, or you want to offer it as a part of the curriculum for your students. So once you've decided on that, we support you to reaching out to parents, to collaborate with you actually, and to tell parents that we are here to, we share with you a circular that you can send out to parents. We share with you an email brochure if you want to email it. We have a WhatsApp brochure that you can send it on WhatsApp. And we also have parent webinars, yeah? Like you see on your screen, we can also share with you one page where you can put up on your website saying that you've collaborated with Cambridge, and this child from this class in our school is sitting down for one of the Cambridge English exams. So like I shared with you, once you've reached out to parents, we have a lot of support which we offer out to teachers. So we are starting, the first step, we are starting a teacher support program on the 12th and the 19th. It's 2 Saturdays. We're offering this free of cost. So once you sign up with us, we'll send you a personal invitation where your teachers can register for these online workshops, and they can attend the workshop where we'll show them what is, in every exam, what are the parts of the exam, how they can use our online resources to do the training. Because Cambridge will not do the training directly in your institution. So we would train the teachers, and your teachers can look at a 30-hour program to train the students. So we do have a lot of support. So once you begin training the students, after a gap of about 3 months to 6 months, we start training your teachers. We train them in terms of lesson planning, curriculum mapping, classroom monitoring. How do you go about that? So and there's a wealth of resources when it comes to YouTube or it comes to our Cambridge English teaching page. So I will not go into much of details about it, but there's a lot of online support which is there for your teachers. You can see a few snapshots about the webinars that we have done, which I'm sharing with you on the screen. So this is a complete pack that we have for you. Like I said in the beginning, for this collaboration, we are offering this pack to you absolutely free of cost. The only cost that your students would have to pay for is the examination fee. But if you look at the Inspire pack has lesson plans, has sample papers. For every exam, we have a lesson plan. So your teachers do not have to reinvent the wheel and begin all over again, but they can use these lesson plans and they can train in their classroom. So once you train your students and your teachers are trained, then we give your students a wealth of information, starting from apps to websites like Write and Improve, for them to improve their writing skills. We have a website called as Virtually Anywhere to improve their listening skills. So these are a couple of websites that we have with you. Like I told you, again, I'm not going into much of detail, but we'll share with you much more detail once you sign the letter of intent. So like I shared with you earlier, there is branding support. So as a preparation center, you get a preparation center logo where you can see we prepare for Cambridge English exams, qualifications. So you can put that up in your school. We'll support you with Facebook banners, support you with web banners for your page, support you with any WhatsApp invitations or ads or posters that you want to send out to parents. And then you get a certificate directly from Cambridge saying that you're an authorized, that you are a exam preparation center and that you're offering these exams for your students. So I will now hand over to my colleague, Mr. T.K. Arunachalam, the Regional Director of Cambridge Assessment English. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
Can't hear you.
I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, Arun, we can.
Thank you very much, Kevin, for supporting this. I think there are a number of educators who have joined this session today. I can see that there are more than 360 of you here, and they're spread across length and breadth of India. Traditionally in Cambridge, we have worked with some of the major metro cities in India, where we were able to offer face-to-face support for teachers and deliver this program. But given the pandemic, what we realize is that digital technologies can be used really well. I think many schools in the beginning said that one of the positives coming out of this pandemic is that they were able to use technology much better. So we are now in a position to utilize technology and really offer the Cambridge support to every nook and corner of India. So earlier, distance was a challenge. We could only operate in Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, or Hyderabad, Kolkata, key cities. But right now, through this collaboration mechanism, and using technology, we are able to reach out the benefit of Cambridge collaboration to every school in India. So what I think Kevin briefly talked to you about, but I thought I will talk to you about the steps with some specific timelines. So what is different is that this whole model is anchored on a digital support from Cambridge from start to end. So in the first process, schools which are education institutions keen to work with Cambridge can sign up with us with a letter of intent. This is fairly prestigious because traditionally Cambridge, we don't sign up with individual institutions. We only work with key institutions. But we thought that in this pandemic, we realized that every school needs support, and digitally we can offer that support. So the letter of intent, I will share a copy of that, and you can also download it later in the presentation, will be the first stage. Then the school will have to make certain choices. I think you will have to decide what ages in your school you would want to impact. Is it the primary school children with grades 2 to 5, or is it the middle school children, or those school leavers, grade 9 to 11, when they want to leave school and want to secure admission in top universities in India and overseas? Would you want to impact them? So once this is clear, along with that, schools will have to choose whether they're going to offer it as an option. We recognize that these are difficult times. I think it's very difficult for parents, difficult time for schools. So we now have an option where without any risk, without any investment, you can actually make this available to your students. If parents are willing to do it as an option, I think those limited number of students can enroll for the Cambridge program and the support can be offered. But the key service here is the learning intervention that will be delivered by the school through teachers who are trained by Cambridge. Then the parent engagement would start. So I think just to give you timelines, August, September, we will be signing the letter of intent. In September, I think schools will have to make a choice about the kind of relationship that they would want to have with Cambridge. September and October, we will have the parent engagement. We recognize that parents are the key stakeholders here. They need to, whatever decision a school takes, they will have to be supported. So we are happy to engage with your parents and support them, because I think when they hear that a school is offering a program, or when they hear Ian or someone else from Cambridge talking about the program, parents feel a lot more comfortable and they're very happy to subscribe this program inside your school. The next will be the free teacher training development support. It's not just one webinar or some resources. It's a comprehensive package that starts from September and goes all the way till the when the children give the examination in Feb or March. After your teachers are trained, after the initial workshop, then your teachers will run a 30 to 45 hour learning program for your students, either as part of curriculum or as a supplementary program for your curriculum. The key aspect here, I'm reiterating, is that we would encourage schools to charge some, a reasonable fee for the training, because this training, even though they'll be using Cambridge resources, a lot of free resources from Cambridge they'll be utilizing, your teachers are delivering the program utilizing your infrastructure. So we'll recommend schools to charge a reasonable fee based on what they feel their parents can pay and offer this program to your students. If it is integrated, then Cambridge will also be involved in a materials mapping workshop. So the whole program of English can be changed to a Cambridge program. So every student in the class benefits from it, and students can appear for the Cambridge certification. So we are expecting for those who are attending the workshop today, that your schools can participate, the students can participate in the exam session that will happen in Feb or March 2021. So the training for them can start from October to Jan, and in Feb or March, they can give the certification. The key aspect here is that children don't have to travel. The exams will be conducted in your own schools. So Cambridge, through our authorized centers, will ensure that the exams can be delivered within your school. So children don't have to travel, and they can deliver. Most of our exams are pen and paper. There are also some options of computer-based tests available for middle school or high school students. Once you complete this cycle, I think what awaits you is a much more strategic relationship with Cambridge, where you can actually become an authorized center of Cambridge. Currently in India, institution like the British Council is an authorized center. What we feel is that I think we need to set up centers of excellence across India. And we feel that once you've completed a cycle, we have evaluated your students' results, we'll be much more confident to support your school becoming a direct authorized center of Cambridge, which means you can deliver Cambridge exams directly to your own students, as well as a center of excellence to all the neighboring schools as well. So you become a direct partner of Cambridge. Just to kind of put forward, this is not a commercial relationship. I think that's what we are clearly saying it. This collaboration is purely by invitation. There is no affiliation fee. Because of the pandemic, we are trying to work directly with schools, and because we are using technology, we are able to reach your school wherever you are in India. A lot of teacher training will be offered free. So I think if you're looking at 2 teachers being trained, I think it costs about 8,000 rupees. So that will be subsidized by Cambridge directly. And if you have more teachers to be trained, we welcome that, and we can support as many teachers as you want who want to deliver the Cambridge programs. The key difference here, I think Ian mentioned to you, Kevin also mentioned to you, the Cambridge programs involve listening, reading, writing, and speaking, which means that we are expecting your children to be top communicators. We want them to present very well, argue an idea very well, read, write, listen exceptionally well. This also impacts their learning skills. So we really want to focus on teacher training so that your teachers can train your students really well. Access to online resources will be offered free. Parent webinars will also be offered free, because I think many times parents don't understand the reason why schools are opting out for programs like this and what benefits it offers to their children. So we are happy from Cambridge. The Cambridge team in India will be happy to support you to deliver these parent webinars. There is a number of branding support available. So I think this is the first time I think institutions who have joined us will be in a position to become a school which is directly signed up with Cambridge. So you will have a letter of intent signed with Cambridge. You will be offered a branding support with certificates and other collaterals that will specify that you are a partner of Cambridge. So people in the neighboring locality of your school and your parents will feel really proud that your school is really amplifying your quality of English. The only cost involved is when the student appears for the certification, there is a cost of per student, the examination fee. Kevin briefly shared with you about it. We can share more details about it. There is no other cost, no license fee, no investment upfront required. And the last part is, I think when the schools offer a training program to their students, we would encourage schools to offer a package learning fee. Say, for example, the examination fee for starters is about 2,500. We would encourage schools to collect maybe 3,000 or 3,200, maybe 500 to 700 rupees for the school for the learning programs, so that they can support their teachers and deliver the program using the content from Cambridge, and the students can benefit out of it. So what the cost of the training will be decided by some schools. Some schools offer it free, some schools offer it at a particular cost, so you can decide what is suitable for your school. So this is what will be offered as part of the letter of intent. Uh, so Cambridge will be in a position to sign on behalf of the University of Cambridge. The Department Cambridge Assessment will be in a position to sign up with your school if you're interested to enhance the English language skills of your students by impacting your teachers. I have now put forward on the right of your screen, you will probably see a banner. So those school leaders who want to participate in this program and want to offer this program to your schools, I would encourage you to click on the button, yes, I want to collaborate. Automatically, your details will be shared with us, and the team from Cambridge will respond to you to take this further. You can also download the key materials related to the letter of intent, so that if you need to check with your legal teams and all of that, you can check that and come back. So I'll pause here for 20 seconds so that if anyone wants to click on the button for you want to collaborate, please click on that link and we can try and capture that data and probably offer the relevant support. With that, I think we've kind of come to the end of this initial briefing. There'll be a lot more in the future to the partnering institution. This is just the beginning. Ian, Kevin, myself, and other colleagues from Cambridge are open to any questions. In the first instance, I would encourage you to type down your question in the chat so that we can pick up some of those questions and answer. And after a couple of minutes, we will also open it for some live questions. So we will switch on the audio. Please raise, there is a button called speak button. Please click on that and we will invite you to ask your question directly. So let's, please fire away your questions.
Yeah, the one of the first questions was, is this annual fee for the students that they have to pay? Is it annually, the exam fee?
Yes, the examination fee is whenever they write an examination, it's for a particular level. So once they complete that examination, they would get a certificate from Cambridge. So every time they attempt a Cambridge examination or certification, they'll have to pay for that. Some years they may not have any particular exam. There are some gap years where we don't offer a particular qualification. There is no cost involved. It is not an annual fee, but whenever they are appearing for a certification, those students will have to pay the relevant examination fee.
quite a few questions of will we share the webinar as well as the PPT?
Yes, those who are participating in today's session, at the end of it, you will get a link for the whole session so you can watch it. And we realize that for some of you, your school leaders or the owners or the chairperson may need to see this as well. So we will share the link with you all, where you can share that with your other leaders from your school so that they can also visualize this. But those who have clicked on the button for collaborate, I think the team from Cambridge will also reach out to you to offer more information.
Yeah, a couple of questions are asking, is this only for schools or is it also for higher education?
I think that's a very good question. Cambridge is keen to partner with all education institutions in India, both schools and higher education. Today's seminar, since predominantly about 98% of them are from schools, we are focused on the collaborate offer for schools. We plan to organize something similar for higher education as well, but the model remains the same. Cambridge will offer teacher training support. We would offer digital resources for learning, and the institution can offer the learning program for your students in colleges as well. So this collaborate offer is common for both schools as well as higher education. And those of you, I think, who are part of group institutions, you may be running schools, but you may also be running higher education institution. It's one common collaboration with your education trust. We can sign up and offer the benefit across both your schools and higher education.
There are still a lot of questions, Arun, of how can we collaborate. So in case if maybe we may want to leave their email ID, or can they write back to us, because there are a lot of questions of still asking how can we collaborate.
Okay, as I said, there is this button on your right which says collaborate with Cambridge. You can click on yes, I want to collaborate, please do that. Else, what you can do is in the chat, please write down your institution. We can try and collate that data and share with you. Are you all able to click on the yes, I want to collaborate link? Can you see that? And can you, if you're interested, are you able to activate it? Can you please type on the chat box, please?
If you're on your phone, you should see see it appearing just below the screen.
If you're on your desktop, it'll be on your right. If you're accessing this on your mobile phone, it'll be at the bottom of the screen. Can we go back to some more questions, Kevin?
Yes, Arun. So there is a question regarding teacher support. So is there any comprehensive programs for teachers?
Would you want to respond to that, Kevin, about the support we offer for teachers?
Yeah, so in terms of support, like I said, we do have teacher support programs. So we will be starting the first workshop on the 12th of September and the second workshop on the 19th of September. So once you've clicked on the button that you want to collaborate, we'll share that information with you. As an ongoing support, we do have workshops on topics like lesson planning, classroom management, how to develop receptive skills, how to develop productive skills, how do you teacher monitoring. But if you're really looking out for something in terms of teacher development, we have a qualification known as TKT, or the Teaching Knowledge Test. So that's something where it focuses on the teaching methodology for the teacher. So if there's something that you want more details, we can share with you after this call is over.
Okay, I can see that there are some hands that have gone up to speak as well. I think we'll be able to take some of those questions. If the admin can enable speaking for some of them, maybe may I invite Meenakshi Narula, if you're on screen, to kind of go ahead and share your question. The moment I said, I think that has vanished. I think the next I see on the list is Sunita Agarwal.
So as soon as we accept it, you might want to kind of click on the mic option to kind of speak. So there will be a little circle which says mic, or there is an icon of mic. You can utilize that to speak. I think we have granted access for speaking to both of the participants. I
Okay.
think
Arun, in the meanwhile, there's a question. So are there any minimum requirements like that? Do teachers have to have a Celta for them to teach?
Yes, I think there are two kinds of requirements. One is to be an examiner for Cambridge. Celta will be a desirable qualification, but here we are looking at training even young learners. So I think we are happy to look at the current teachers and offer the learning program for them. So there is a minimum professional requirement, but we'll be able to share that with you at the end of this event. I can hear someone trying to speak. Let me go to them.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are loud and clear.
All right. So I am Meenakshi Narula, and I would be glad to collaborate with Cambridge. And it's just a wonderful like assessment.
I'm so sorry you had to leave, Meenakshi. Sorry about that. We have Mayank Sharma, Ashish Bhatnagar, Shibani Basu, Rabinder Deep Singh, Dalbir Singh. We are giving you access to speak. If you can unmute the mic and if you can come on screen and ask your question, we are more than happy to respond to yours. Sorry, Meenakshi has come back again. Go ahead with your question, Meenakshi.
Yeah, excuse me. Sorry, there was some connection error. I don't know. So I would be really glad to collaborate with you. And my question to you is there any minimum requirement of the students like to enroll for Cambridge assessment? Because we are having a handful of students. We started in 2016 as our school, and we are having right now 160 students in our school. We are looking forward to more admissions, but still, like with the less number of students, it is possible to collaborate with you.
Yes, so we do not put any minimum restrictions for collaboration. The only challenge would be if you have, say, under 50 students, it becomes very difficult for us to conduct the exam in your own school. If you have, say, minimum 50 to 100 candidates, the exam can be delivered within your school. Training is anyway offered in your school, so that is not a challenge. But to help conduct the exam in your school, for some of the exams, you may need some 50 to 100 candidates. If your school has that, we are more than happy to do it. Still, you can collaborate. What could be the next option is that you will then probably aggregate students from your city and conduct it at maybe a common school. That is the option. We don't normally prefer that because we don't like children traveling. Ideally, we would like to do it in your own school. So this collaborate is to support you doing this program within your own school, ma'am. Numbers are not an issue. Even if you have minimum students, you can start the program and impact your children. But to deliver the examination within your school, we will have some minimum number of 50 or 100.
Yeah, as you are saying, it should be minimum 50 to 100. So because in our school, you see, parents, they are also willing, students are also willing to go for this Cambridge assessment in English, and they want to enhance their LSRW, all the skills. And definitely, if we make it, we can make it mandatory as well. There is not an issue. So in that case, we will have this number 50 to 100, and I think then that won't be any issue with the collaboration and all.
Thank you very much. So kindly ensure you clicked on the collaborate button. And if possible, yes, I think we will definitely get back to you, ma'am. We would love to see. Which city did you say you're from?
Sir, actually, I'm from UP, Oraiya. Basically, I am from Gurgaon, NCR. Actually, I am working with a school that is in Oraiya, Shamford Futuristic K-12 School, Oraiya, Uttar Pradesh.
Okay, we have not done any work in that part of Uttar Pradesh, so I think you'll be the first school that we are trying to impact.
Definitely, sir. That would be our pleasure, sir. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I have Prakrit Lakanpal. If you want to ask any question, Prakrit.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. So there was some discussion regarding Celta. So particularly, I have done my small course on TOEFL. So what are the basic requirements for English teachers if they wanna, start preparing for the course? And since it's for class it starts from smaller classes and goes till higher till secondary level classes. So what exactly the teachers will be requiring? What level of education will they be requiring? More than the normal CBSE norms of
Okay.
education.
Okay, I think the real I would not want to call it a challenge. I think by default teachers would have a B.Ed qualification, but the challenge is that they may not have the relevant grounding to offer a communicative based learning. So
Yeah.
they may have challenges to offer a listening, reading, writing, speaking program. Some teachers are very good. I'm not saying all teachers may not have skills. Some teachers will definitely have those skills, but there are some who may not have that grounding in offering a communicative language teaching approach. So what we try and do in the workshops that Cambridge organizes is to offer teachers. I believe, are you a teacher, sir?
Yes.
So we offer teachers like you a workshop to say how you can, one, get those skills, and two, how you can impact children who are at grade 2, grade 3, because straight away you cannot expect a Celta trained trainer to offer your train your grade 2 students. As a school, you have the teachers who are apportioned for grade 2 or grade 3. You cannot change them. But the best thing you can do is offer professional training support from Cambridge. So your current teachers get upgraded. Not a problem if you're teaching CBSE or ICSE or even state board.
Yes.
Our focus is to upgrade the skills of teachers so they can deliver the program. And if you integrate into your curriculum, I think Kevin did briefly mention, we also offer something called as mentorship. We would even have classroom observations to see how the classrooms are being delivered to offer end-to-end support. So don't worry about the minimum professional requirement of your teachers. We accept that this is in India, and we will have, I think we accept they have B.Ed, but they need a lot of unlearning and relearning to offer this Cambridge program. Two, your question on Celta. Celta is probably the most useful English language qualification for those who want to be an English language teacher. It's a passport for being a global teacher in English. It is not that accessible. It's slightly expensive. And currently, because of the pandemic, Cambridge is also making available Celta online. So earlier for Celta, you'll have to go to British Council in Delhi or Chennai or Colombo to run offer a Celta or do a 3-week, 4-week intensive program. But right now you can also do it online, so that is available. And Celta is not for everyone. Unless you want to take a career out of teaching English, it may not be suitable for everyone. And two, but if you once you have Celta, I think please communicate with Cambridge team. There is a lot of demand for examiners, so we would want our examiners to be Celta certified, so we can utilize talent like Celta certified trainer to support the delivery of Cambridge examinations to a high standard.
Well, in my organization, we were having few teachers who have done TOEFL.
Okay.
Sorry, TESOL.
TESOL, yes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was getting confused in TESOL. Yeah. So we were looking out for. Even I approached when I was in New Delhi. I went to Cambridge office and they didn't allow me in. So I just wanted to get how to do this course, and if it is available online, few of our teachers will be ready to do that.
Definitely. I think please make sure you click on the collaborate link. There is also an email ID. Please share it with us. I think the Cambridge team, they are recording this whole conversation. They will be in touch with you, Prakrit, so that we can make sure we can support your school.
Yes. Another final thing that I would like to ask, just last question. So do you also support somewhere, because we train our students for IELTS, and we have been doing that for like past 3 years now in a row. Few of our students, they do go to foreign universities, and we particularly, frankly speaking, do not have any training for such courses. But yes, we some of our teachers have given exams, some of our students have given exams, and just learning through online how the course is and how to make students ready, we try to impart and give the education over there in the school for grade 12 students and grade 11 students. So will it be possible with the help of Cambridge that we will be able to, we are a certified IELTS trainer school?
Sure. I think IELTS training is supported by a sister organization of Cambridge, Cambridge University Press, and they have a lot of support offered for IELTS training partners. So we will connect you with the team in the Cambridge University Press to support your delivery. And we can also link you up with British Council or IDP, who run their own teacher training programs for IELTS, so that you can be an authorized preparation center either for British Council or IDP. We're more than happy to support you, Prakrit. Yep, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
We have Rabinder Deep Singh. Please go ahead with your question.
Yes, sir. A very good evening, sir. I have a very simple question, a very straightforward questions. We are a private limited organization and we are into the teaching of English. Can we also be a part of the Cambridge assessment English?
Yes, I think there are two models. One is an institutional collaboration model. So if you're a school or you're a university or a college, you can directly collaborate with Cambridge and the benefit goes directly to your students. But we also welcome certain educational providers like you to kind of create a hub where the support can be offered to you and you in turn can take it to few cities around your nearby areas, because it's not possible for Cambridge to go to every city in India. So we do welcome collaboration opportunities if you are into this space of supporting schools, supporting their learning. So click on the collaborate button and we'll be happy to have further conversation with you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We do have last few questions from Shanmuganandam Ramamurthy and Denzel Dills. We have accepted your request. You have raised your hand to speak. Feel free to come on screen, click on the unmute button and go ahead with your question. Looks like they have left. I think we have slightly short on time here. We go back to the questions. I think if you have typed your question.
Arun, there's a quick question. Are there any hidden costs to the school?
Okay, this is a very good question. I think I put forward in our presentation. This whole support is to support schools in the pandemic era. We realize that schools are going through a difficult period. So Cambridge wants to support learning and provision of excellence to schools across India. There is no cost involved. There is no risk involved for schools. You don't have to pay anything. All the support that Cambridge offers to your teacher development, for your parent support and all of that branding support is offered free of cost, provided there is commitment from the school to enhance the quality of your students. So if you're really keen to support your students and offer the Cambridge qualification, this offer is available to you. There is no hidden cost. There is nothing the school will have to pay. We have Mr. Shanmuganandam who has joined the conversation. Sir, please fire away with your question. Mr. Shanmuganandam Ramamurthy, please, if you have any questions, you're on air. You can ask your question. Yes.
Very good afternoon, sir. Really happy to join with this. One of the best program we feel. And I'm from remote of South Tamil Nadu. Extreme corner, but I heard of Kanyakumari, am I right?
Yes.
Near that place. Since we're already busy with our online classes for the main subjects, so how is it possible to include this Cambridge coaching classes, sir?
I think it's a very good question. I'm glad you asked this, Mr. Shanmuganandam. I think there are two things to it. What we are focusing on is English language as a skill. Okay. In your online program, because of the limitation of the technology, whether you're using Zoom or Google or whatever it is, most of the times where there is some little bit of interaction, I think when you need to build skills, you need to allow children to practice. You need a lot more innate digital resources to utilize that. Currently, what many schools are doing, I think your teachers are wonderful. They're able to take a lesson plan from your textbook and they're able to run it inside a classroom. Okay, they're doing a wonderful job. I'm not complaining about it. But where we are supporting is that we are now providing you live digital materials that you can use that are meant for students who can use it on their desktop, laptop, or on their mobile phone, the parents' mobile phones. And we also have resources like games. I think the attention span of primary school children is very less. You want them to attend a lecture online. I don't think they're interested. But instead, we have a word game. We have games that children can play to develop their English language skills. I think our approach to learning is completely different. So where we feel we can add value to your school is that, can we improve the speaking skills of your children, their writing skills, their reading skills? Because if we impact all of this, their learning skills in English becomes better. So we are able to offer you direct support from Cambridge to use resources from Cambridge, impact your children. I know it's going to be difficult because you're all doing your Zoom classes and your other classes. How can you add a layer on top of it?
Yes.
But the only difference is that our materials are made for digital learning. So
Yeah.
you don't have to, your teachers will feel a lot more comfortable. And it will be a lot more fun because kids will be doing games, they'll be doing activities rather than listening to a lecture. So I think we will be able to share more information. My colleagues will be happy to talk to you more to see how in the remote part of Kanyakumari, how can we bring about a center of excellence in your institution. We'll be thrilled with that fact, sir.
Okay. It's good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Because we have online classes, virtual classes, then recorded version class also.
Sure.
So accordingly to because some parents are not able to see the net connectivity and other things. So for them, we are supplying through the recorded version class.
I think it's got to be a mix of both online, offline, and actual development of skills. So that is something that we can support. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think one final request before we close the session, kindly make sure that I think we have this button on your right if you're on a laptop or at the bottom. You want to collaborate, click on that link so your database is made available to Cambridge and our team can reach out to you and support you. Ian, any final words from you? I think you're on mute, Ian. Sorry, you're on mute. Sorry, we can't hear you, Ian. Sorry about that. Sorry. Thank you very much. Ian. Thanks a lot, Kevin. Over to you, Apoor.
So thank you for actually granting us your precious time and being with us on this webinar. What you should expect for those of you who have clicked on yes, I want to collaborate, our team will be reaching out to you. Please make note of your email IDs. There will be some relevant information which will be pushed out to your email. So please do check your emails. There will be information which will be available to you shortly. And after some time, there will be a replay recording which will be available to you if you want to send it off to somebody in your school or maybe higher ups for their inputs, or maybe you want to share it with your partner institutes, you will be able to do that. And with that note, I think Kevin and I would like to once again, thank you for your time and have a good day, guys.
Thank you, everybody.